All right, human resource management students, welcome to week number 3. It is Wednesday, and I apologize. I had a sick day on Monday. I wasn't feeling well. I had a pretty rough Sunday night, and so I wasn't able to make it in. If you emailed me, I probably emailed you back, but told you I wouldn't be able to get to whatever your request was to the following day. But I am actually trying to get you some updates here and give you a recap of what's been going on. Last week we closed out sexual harassment conversation in our discussions. So let me start with discussions, and I think that's going to be the most impacting for you in respects to your grade. I'm not sure what experiences you've had in the past with discussions. I know some people have been taken by surprise on some of the requirements of it. But I want to explain to you the discussion because I think we can all be on the same page on the following weeks. Discussion is equivalent to participation in the class in a normal class setting. So it's like showing up to class. So when I grade you in participation and discussion, it's considered, if you're actively participating in the discussion, to do more than just one sentence. If you are giving me a one-sentence reply to your classmates or your cohorts, I am not going to give you full credit for that. I'll probably knock you 5 points for each reply. So make sure you are being careful in regards to what you're posting up there. The post itself, your original post, has to have some type of thought and pattern to it, or some type of idea. Don't just post something randomly after reading the question. I did give instructions to seek out information from the chapter, to read about chapter 3 when it addresses to sexual harassment, and then discuss the reasonable woman concept and what your thoughts were about that. A lot of you really did a great job, hit some research on it, put down some great information, some challenging thoughts. The consensus, I think, is that many of you felt the reasonable woman standard was a little offensive to use that term. Instead, many of you suggested using the reasonable person standard, which I thought was extremely well worded for many of you who had taken that approach. Again, many students had brought in some great ideas, some wonderful topics. I'm reading through them now, so I should expect to have that graded by the end of the week. Once again, in respects to your grading, I want to make sure that you understand how this process works. I try to go on and get your grade in by the end of the following week, which gives me enough time to read everybody's closed out discussion post. I do, during the week of the discussion, also go in there and try to reply to some of you and ask you questions. If I ask you a question, please go in there and answer that, because that's part of your grade. So this week, we've entered chapter 3. You're required to do the chapter 5 and 6 assignments, and we're talking about work and give an example of a personnel policy that would help attract large pools of job candidates. So what, as an HR position, can you put in your available job options that would attract people? And on the contrary, give an example of a policy that would most likely reduce amount of people applying for that job. So is there something in your HR environment that's going to attract more candidates than usual, or is there something in your personnel policies that are pushing people away from that? So give me some examples. It could be real life examples, or it could be something you just came up with. I'm interested in seeing what you guys come up with. Other than that, I think we're rolling right along. This is a very work-filled class, and I understand that. Next week, of course, we roll into chapter 7 and 8, but you also have a midterm. So I'm going to try to find a way to alleviate some of the workload for you, because you do have that midterm. I know and I understand that some of you might be working or have families, and I completely can relate and understand that. So next week we will discuss maybe some type of, I don't know, negotiation, if you may. So if you have some ideas for all you business students, if you have some ideas of how I can alleviate maybe the workload, maybe you feel we should take away one of the quizzes or one of the homework assignments or a Learn Smart, I'm willing to listen to what you have. So I am actually going to put up in our discussion a post for next week stating something in the way of what would be the best option to help you this week with your workload. And then you guys can all respond to that. Other than that, guys, please feel free to email me. I try as hard as I can, and I have a huge class load this semester, but I try to get back to you as soon as possible. I know that sometimes you guys are working at, crazy hours, so I try to reply as soon as I can, and I hope that's working out for you. I also try to put videos. I apologize, I've been delayed on your video. It's been a crazy start to the week, but I finally got to it, and I hope that you guys are doing well. If you have any questions or you need any help, just feel free to call me or send me an email. Guys, good luck, and we'll talk to you all soon.